You say they've taken the Supraforce metal weapon somewhere?
Could you
Yes, Colonel.
be more
The
specific?
Superforce metal is extremely
No,
dangerous.
because the guy we
Must
thought
be
was
dealt
stealing it is super
Now
dead.
that the interference has been eliminated, we'll be able to lend you our support. I'm planning to lead a unit straight into Giga City myself.
We're just going to make one line on the map, follow that line, and whatever gets in our way is getting blown to smithereens.
What's that?
Intruder alert! It's an attack!
Alright, any details? No? Alright. Well, welcome back to Mega Man X Command Mission. So last time we completed Chapter 8, and now we're just being thrown into an attack. Technically speaking, this is mostly an intermission episode, but you do get ambushed by this when you return, so not really much I can do about that. Right, so I want 0 here. X, you can go in the center. And I actually want you to not have the shock lance. That would be very bad right now. And in addition, hey, you know what I happen to get that I, just magically know I need? Reverse Thunder. So even someone like Massimo can not only resist lightning attacks, which is helpful enough as is, he even gets healed by them now. So yeah, whistle whistle, don't know why I happened to equip that one. It's a mystery to me. So yeah, as the attendant here is saying, once you travel, you get attacked immediately, so if you need to heal and save, go do so. Otherwise, who are we fighting? Like 50 guys? I bet it's 50 whole guys. Alright, 50 guys, you here? I'm gonna fight you now. Don't think this is gonna go like it did in the Olfat Factory where I got my ass kicked by Prions. That's not happening again.
Who are you?
I am Scarface, a rebellion army cadre.
You know, nobody was even using Cadre until Bodo started using it.
And to take back the Superforce medal. X, I challenge you to combat.
What kind of combat we talking?
You want the
Mortal or
Superforce
otherwise?
That's right. We needed to realize our vision. It's essential. Now, return it to us.
Pretty please.
So, here's Scarface. What do you gotta say for yourself?
Show me the extent of your power.
Alright, so Scarface here has a gimmick, and it's not just lightning. He's level 57, he's got 37,500 HP, absorbs electric, weak to fire, and his most notable feature, I would say, is the fact that he is constantly changing the type of thing he's defending against. If you hit him with the same type of attack twice in a row, he will probably counter you. So you want to alter between shot type and close type. Other than that, though, he's got the Plasma Lance, which is just a fancy thing to call his normal attack. He's got Ultra Giga Thunder, which is just thunder to the whole party. Terra Thunder, which is heavy damage to a single person. Plasma Ball, which is just an electric-based critical hit attack. Plasma Array, which is a party-wide attack that inflicts bind. And Electro Breaker, which absorbs 20% of your current LE. Not your maximum HP, thankfully. Just the current amount you still have, but still. You don't want him absorbing stuff, so that's bad. Also, apparently you can lose this fight, according to the wiki. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest, he definitely does some heavy damage. I will say, if you're not careful, he can really hurt you. But I don't know, if you just keep your health up, which is pretty easy, like, you just had access to a bed, you have full sub-tanks, I know you do. Ah, see, I lost track of what I was doing, and now I'm getting hit by counter. So you gotta pay attention to what lands. But yeah, again, just to give away the game a little bit, there's no fight following this one, so you do not have to be afraid to use your sub-tanks. You're good. Use everything you need. He's fast, he hits hard. But so do we. And it's not gonna say he died because technically he doesn't. He's one of those you leave him a 1 HP bosses.
Commander Epsilon!
But it is the end of the fight anyway.
Hardly a fight.
I mean, we got pummeled a little bit. We just had a lot of stuff to drink. Also, he just gives you a free top off of tank energy anyway. So yeah, no, don't worry about healing, it's fine.
You're a strong one.
What is this ideal you're after? And what does a dangerous weapon like Super Force Metal have to do with it?
The rebellion and its commander do not wish to wage war.
We just want to alter people's brains a little bit.
Yeah. Why stir up trouble?
Because you deny us our dream.
Yeah, we really don't want to have to fight other Reploids. We've seen Repliforce.
I've come here of my
But you
own
are
volition.
fighting us, so we do have to fight
When I
you.
fought you, I realized that you're not the kind of Reploid that would use power to achieve crazed aim.
You're actually pretty chill.
Why in the world would you use a deadly weapon like Super Force Metal and risk creating Maverick?
Oh, it's not a risk. We definitely want to create Mavericks is the thing. Like, Godil explained this to you, right? Like, we want more Mavericks, because, you know, definition of Maverick isn't a set thing. We want people thinking outside the box. We need go-getters, X. We'll never achieve our ideals if we don't have passionate youth on our side.
We possess will. We have life. We must take our destiny into our hands.
But you're playing with fire. What if you cause a Maverick epidemic?
Again, we totally want Mavericks, though. Like, given your definition of Mavericks, we're cool with that, actually.
Or not. But enough talk.
Have at you.
X, I must admit you possess great strength.
You did kick my ass.
Pity we were not fated to join forces. Today, I shall retreat.
But tomorrow, I won't retreat. Think about that one, X. Goodbye.
Alright, and that's that. So, I guess we'll just double back to Nana and Chief R real quick. Like, we gotta do our rounds, we've gotta talk to everybody, but also I wanna go heal and save. And of course, I do need to start the, guy. I need to send the boys out, I gotta deploy the boys. Deployment Center, God. That's what it's called. Yeah, I gotta deploy the boys. They're out there, in need of deploying. Because, of course, we did complete an area, and wouldn't you know it, this area also has an item I need to access something. In the actual area. It, too, has a key. Yeah, that's great, maintenance bed. Cool. Please stop talking to me, I find it kind of weird. Alright, so... Okay, Nana. How's it going? Oh right, cutscene.
I have an update for you. We've managed to track Scarface down to a spot that appears to be the Rebellion Army headquarters.
Or a gas station. He might just be getting a snack.
What is this place?
Many parts of Giga City were designed to test the limits of Reploids. And believe me when I tell you, the Glacier is the harshest of them all.
Well, looks like we gotta go there.
Were we not already at a glacier? I don't know, that kind of felt like the outside area of the last place, but whatever, it's fine. So, we've got our last destination, but of course, as I said, it's an intermission episode. We're not getting around to other story stuff. I wouldn't have gotten into this, but it kind of gets directly in your way, you can't avoid it. Which, you know, is really rude, if you think about it. Just planting himself right there with no care about the format of this LP. Honestly. See, this is why we're taking down the rebellion. Look, maybe they have some good points about the way that Reploids are treated by mankind, but have you considered a clean intermission between chapters? I don't think they have. I think they're deliberately ignoring my formats. Who would use technology for evil? Oh, it's fine. Look, we had Reverse Thunder on. Alright, so we are approaching the final battle at this point. Scarface came out to fight us, and wound up accidentally leading us right to Epsilon. Probably. Alright, Axel, I like you, but man, you're single-minded. Well, I mean, none of us fought one-on-one with Scarface, and... Look, he would have countered you a lot, but considering you had absorbed electric on you, you were fine. Yeah, and you didn't, Marino. You continued not facing him. You weren't there for that fight. I didn't switch anybody in. I didn't really need to, honestly. What do you gotta say, Zero? What are you up to? Yeah, so... he did ask the question, and we didn't really answer him. Maybe it would have been better if we did, but yeah, he doesn't know where the Super Force Medal is either. Like, we would have assumed it got stolen by the Rebellion for the Rebellion. Of course, the real situation is... Bodos was going to take it, not for the Rebellion. But then he was stopped by a mysterious figure with a very familiar voice and very familiar hand. But I guess I won't say their name, just in case. I mean, it's really not leaving it up in the air, but it's also not dwelling on it, so I won't either. Nonetheless, though, currently the whereabouts of that Super Force Medal is unknown, which is really kind of worrying in its own right. So, this time around, we actually have the context for what the next chapter is, so maybe we will actually be able to tell what the people here are on about. Sometimes they're a little non sequitur because I haven't shown the intro cutscene, but... no, this time around we've got people like this guy. Well, shoot! So yes, we just suffered an attack, but... honestly, Scarface could have killed that guy, and he didn't. He just attacked him in response to being attacked himself. And as this lady is saying, Scarface got here, and was just kinda shouting about getting the Super Force Medal back, but unless somebody was attacking him, he wasn't really trying to kill anybody. So, at this point, we can kinda tell that maybe not all of the Rebellion has been particularly good, but Scarface is pretty much the closest guy to Epsilon, and therefore, probably the most trustworthy to kind of get a read on what Epsilon's actually like. So, he does seem like he genuinely just came by and tried to get the Super Force Medal back with as little bloodshed as possible, or oil shed, or whatever. Regardless, yeah, no, he... it seems like we are not dealing with a group that is, like, openly hypocritical or anything like that, right? Like, the boss seems to stick to his ideals if his, number one is that kind. So yeah, like I was saying last time, I do appreciate that there's kind of an air of mystery around Epsilon for most of the game, and now that we're in the back half of the game, it does seem like he's actually okay. But of course, X and the boys are a little old school. I am thinking back to X8 where, you know, obviously the Mavericks were the villains, but the way X0 and Axel all responded to them is like, okay, you are in the right and you still sound way too aggro for this situation. You're not coming off of as the bad guys or anything, but it is very much Old Man yelling at Cloud. Old Man is just gonna shout about Mavericks and how they're real jerks. But yeah, X and the lot do still have a little bit of that. I guess to be fair, X does have a little bit of a point. Super Force Metal is incredibly powerful. And we don't just want anybody using it willy-nilly, so even if their plan works, it's still pretty dangerous and not something that we want them to do. But if it doesn't work, it can go wrong in just a fun variety of ways. Like, yeah, they might not Maverick every Reploid in the north, but maybe they'll just, like, nuke a small country by accident. That's not good. We don't want that to happen, strangely enough. Oh, I got some more people. Oh, this guy's not tired or injured, he's thinking. Yeah, and not only that, Scarface also healed his wound. Jeez. Nice guy, that Scarface. So yeah, very much a situation where the rebellion is, again, not great. They have given them an overall goal that we're going to disagree with, but it doesn't seem like it's just Saturday morning cartoon villain evil kind of thing, you know? Kind of goes back to a thing you see a lot in stories about rebellions and whatnot, because, you know, it's entirely true. Even if you have a good moral base for a rebellion, sometimes the guys who join you just kind of suck ass. Like, you can mean the world and really want what's best for everybody, but, sometimes you just get stuck with awful people. And I feel like that's Epsilon's situation. Like I was saying last time, I feel a lot of this stems from the fact that, like, Epsilon only had so many people to choose from. You had Lograno Ruin, well, it wasn't ruins at the time, you had Lograno Laboratory, or whatever kind of building that was. That's where all our guys for this game were stored. It was just Epsilon and all the boys, and unfortunately most of them just sort of suck and are Maverick. Well, I say most of them, but to be fair, I feel like most of the bosses have actually been fine-ish. Like, Dr. Psyche was attempting a kidnapping, but in fairness, so was Marino. And, you know, she gets away with it because she's cooler than Dr. Psyche, but Dr. Psyche did say he had at least, you know, some sort of desire to see the rebellion's ideals achieved. He was very vague about it, so it's not like we got a huge dive into what he believed and whether or not it was right or wrong. Mostly he just sucked. Especially if you're me and you just decide off the cuff of, like, one stupid joke that he's racist. He's just bigoted. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, who here was bad, and it's like, I mean, there is Silverhorn and Wild Django, some of the earliest bosses in the game, or really the earliest other than Hippopresser. But yeah, Wild Django was willing to take hostages, and he was going to blow up the tower, so I feel like he was... goddamn. Still deployed, you say? That's great. Anyway, where was I? Right, so... yeah, Wild Django was willing to blow up a tower, he was willing to take hostages. He doesn't seem like he was really that keen on keeping any kind of moral compass. He was just trying to help the rebellion so that they could be the dominant power. Silverhorn loves being a prison camp, loves running a prison camp. He's all for it, loved doing it. Just thrilled to be there. And there's the Melda key. Cool, that's what we need. Right, so yeah, I can just do the rest of that stuff off screen. So here is where we use that key. It's much closer to the entrance than Reflessian's key was. That was all the way down in the maze, which was like midway through that particular area. Tiana Camp is not too long when you're just going through it to get to the secret boss. So, right, missile maintenance room. You also need to be able to repair this guy. Let's repair the meltdown. And we're gonna fight another super boss. I'm gonna be honest, I hesitate to call this guy a super boss, because after Reflessian, Duckbill Mole here is really not anything. Okay, so he's got the logo, and the Rebellion Army gave him this, but like, they just locked him in a room, so I can't imagine they like him that much. So anyway, here they are.
Ready to tangle with Duckbill Mole?
And Duckbill Mole as well? That's right, there's two of me! Bet you couldn't tell, but there is!
Right, so anyway, Duckbill Mole, level 60, 5800 life energy. He absorbs fire, takes extra damage from water, 155 power, 65 armor, 75 shield, 80 speed. He's got Mega Fire, he's got Ultra Fire, and he's got a move called Kamikaze Drill, which is a close type attack that ignores defense and will actually reduce both of your defenses by 25%. And apparently you can't counter that either. Quake Hammer, which is just fire damage to a single target. Mantle Assault, fire damage to everybody, and Break Shield, which is just the usual lower shield raises power. So yeah, obviously he does sound a little bit tough, and he definitely has done some damage. So it's not like he's nothing, really. I mock him a little bit, but if you're not careful, he could kill you. You might want reverse fire before you do this one. But compared to Reflessian, whose gimmick is, you have to kill her in the first few turns or you're just not going to, this is so much easier. Like, I think the main reason there's two of them is just because if there was only one of them, it really wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, like, he can definitely do a ton of damage if he gangs up on you. Obviously, you want to focus fire on one particular character, because if you do that, then you can kill one, and then you've just halved their damage output. But also, you can just do this as well. So now that I've defeated Reflessian, I don't really have to care that much about difficulty. I've taken down most of your HP, not all of it. But, oh god, that's 20,000 damage. Yeah, I put a significant dent into this guy. And I might have put a bigger dent in him if I didn't miss. Apparently he was ready for that. Probably could have hyper-moded as Marino. And if I had done that, then I could have just healed and then continued wailing on them, but... do I really need to? Like, I'm good. Yeah, there goes one. Didn't even have to final strike that guy. And now we're just at the point where there's one left. Cool. Yeah, so, anyway, before I forget to mention it, Duckbill Mole is voiced by Roger Rhodes. He comes up a bunch in this game. Well, bunch kind of implies a lot, but we've heard him before. Alright, so yeah, I guess we're hyper-moding now. And now I'm healing X. Honestly, yeah, I could've just done this before. But let's see how much damage I can do. Am I even gonna— oh, I am gonna try this. And I failed again. God, he's such a nerd. Duckbill Mole is terribly unthreatening, if I'm being honest. I'm sorry, Roger Rhodes, but you voiced a huge dork ass.
Here you go.
Back in action.
Are you? Are you really? I've got 99 weapon energy. You really shouldn't have lowered your shield, you absolute buffoon. You idiot, you utter imbecile. Quit shooting me! Yeah, 23,000, goddamn. If I hadn't just run out of Zero's hyper mode, it would be over for you, ho. Yeah, you know, this guy's way easier, so I feel like I've run out of things faster than I did for Reflexion.
Unbelievable.
I mean, yeah, that does hurt, but, Am I actually gonna go cooldown? Like I've said before, you do get your weapons replaced when you are either one of X's hyper modes. So unfortunately, Generator's just not an option, so we'll just stand around and wait. Next turn I will destroy you, because, as the game is showing, I do have, all the weapon energy I need on X's next turn. And why didn't you attack Zero? You weakened him. I'm gonna be honest, Duckbill Mole. You really could have done better. You really, really could have done better. Alright, well, let's blow him up.
Full power. Here we go.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would. You're being blown to smithereens. And that's that.
I did it.
So I guess that's it for the guy that the Rebellion Army didn't care for. They just stuck him in the broom closet and called it a day. Also, Axel didn't get any DNA for that. Which is weird, because Reflexion gave us DNA. There is some stuff to talk about in terms of cut content in this game. Of course, we fought Reflexion and Duckbill Mole. They weren't cut, per se. But, yeah, we'll talk about that stuff later. More importantly, right now, we get the new form, Absolute Zero. So yeah, we'll see how that actually works when we bring it up, but this is what he looks like. God, he's just so edgy. But I will say, I do appreciate the little head wings because they remind me of Base, which, you know, that's cute. I like Wily's last creation being reminiscent of his other big creation that hated his guts and wanted him to die. Didn't like Mega Man, but didn't like Wily either. Either way though, yeah, next time on Mega Man X Command Mission, we begin the final showdown with the Rebellion.